Aloha and welcome to this podcast on approaches to promoting Hawaiian. Let me start by quickly walking you through today's program. First of all, I will shortly introduce you to some general facts about Hawaiian in order for you to get a flavor of what I am going to be talking about. Then, our discussion will deal with two different methods, both of which aim at promoting Hawaiian. As a first step, I will zoom in on the Hawaiian model of language revitalization and try to outline the main reasons for its success. Then, I will talk about the linguistic landscape and try to highlight how it can serve as a tool to elevate the status of Hawaiian. The podcast will end with a conclusion, where the main ideas of this endeavor will be recapitulated. Alright then, let's get to it. English and Hawaiian are the two official languages in the state of Hawaii. Hawaiian is also an officially recognized minority language in the US. Hawaiian, which is not to be confused with Hawaiian Pidgin English, is a Polynesian language and thought to be one of the oldest languages in the world. Just like English, Hawaiian is an analytic language, which means that grammatical relationships are expressed without using inflectional morphemes. Contrary to synthetic languages, meaning is established with the help of definite and indefinite articles, as well as syntactic structures. To get a bit of an idea of what Hawaiian looks and sounds like, I have included some linguistic features which I find rather interesting. The Hawaiian alphabet consists of only 13 letters, 8 of which are consonants and the remaining 5 are vowels. Additionally, all words must end in a vowel, and two consonants can never appear next to each other. Another fascinating linguistic feature is the use of the okina, a glottal stop which is considered a consonant. It is considered a consonant because its absence can change the meaning of a word. For instance, the word kai means see, whereas the word kai means to lead. Hawaiian used to be an oral language only. Thus, traditions, knowledge, and practices were transmitted orally. This changed with the arrival of missionaries who helped develop the language into a written language, using the Latin alphabet. Throughout the 19th century, dozens of Hawaiian newspapers were published and Hawaii had an outstanding literacy rate. Hawaiian was banned after the annexation by the US in 1898, which led to a rapid decline of native speakers. Some linguists even claimed that, and I quote, "It is much too late to stop the linguistic genocide of Hawaiian." However, a Hawaiian renaissance has occurred over the last 60 years, with more and more people wanting to learn the language. This resulted in an ever-growing number of speakers. Today, some 6,000 people are able to speak the language fluently. In the following, I will explore some factors leading to the gradual increase in promotion of Hawaiian. The Hawaiian model of language revitalization is believed to be one of the most successful and comprehensive models when it comes to reviving an endangered language. It has played a decisive role in elevating the status of Hawaiian. I will now outline some characteristics that are responsible for the success of the Hawaiian model. First of all, the people wanting to revitalize Hawaiian need to be involved. Any attempt at trying to revive an endangered language, regardless of the financial resources, will fail if it lacks the will of the people who actually speak the language. All kinds of people can be involved. In the Hawaiian case, a considerable amount of native speakers engaged in the program by teaching the language in immersion schools. However, the language was not only taught to children. Parents were also asked to contribute. They could do so by attending language classes tailored for parents. As a result, Hawaiian would gradually become the language used at home, thereby expanding the use of domains. Educational programs play a central role in the success of the Hawaiian model. The Hawaiian model learned from critically analyzing existing models of language revitalization, especially from the Maori experience. In New Zealand, language nests proved to be beneficial. Here, preschool children are exposed to the language from a very young age. They learn the language before formal schooling begins. The children attending these language nests were often fluent in Hawaiian within 9 months. As a next step, immersion programs were established at elementary school level. The immersion programs were then gradually extended to secondary school level, thereby allowing the learners to continually enhance their language skills. In order to have enough qualified teachers that can staff the immersion schools, university level language training programs were developed. As an incentive, the tuition fees for Hawaiians enrolled in Hawaiian studies were waived. Today, students can obtain a master's degree in Hawaiian studies. Thus, educational programs, ranging from language nests to university degrees, help promote and secure the existence of Hawaiian. The incorporation of digital technologies helped attract a wide range of young people. Different kinds of apps were developed in order to promote interaction between speakers of different islands, thus forming a community of Hawaiian speakers. Also, the fact that Hawaiian was used as a medium of communication, albeit virtual, essentially ideologizes Hawaiian as modern and youth-oriented. Young people who committed to the Hawaiian Renaissance will continue to shape the course of Hawaiian. They have started to coin new words that fit the football terminology, thereby creating yet another domain where the language is being used. Additionally, adolescents who consciously decide to stay in the immersion programs, even when they're not minors anymore, are likely to raise their future children in Hawaiian. Thus, intergenerational transmission is virtually certain. This definitely serves the course of Hawaiian, as it significantly reduces the chances of extinction. If people continue to speak the language, it will most likely not die out. Another reason for the success is the long-standing tradition of literacy in Hawaii. As we've seen before, the Hawaiian society was very literate before the Hawaiian language was banned by the US. Consequently, the materials used for the teaching of the language as well as the newspapers were still available for reuse. The topics addressed in these teaching materials reflect the native speakers' interests at the time. Therefore, the teaching materials used in the Hawaiian model consist of culturally appealing topics and do not need to be produced anew. Hawaii's history also plays into the success of the model. Before the annexation by the US, a Hawaiian monarchy existed for roughly 100 years. The kingdom was run in Hawaiian and provided an excellent educational system. The past shows that a government can be successfully run in Hawaiian, and this simple fact gives wings to Hawaiian language activists. Let me quickly drink a bit of water. Another method of elevating the status of Hawaiian would be the creation of a bilingual linguistic landscape. The linguistic landscape can be defined as all written language in public, for instance, the language used on road signs, street names, and other public signs. Today, the linguistic landscape in Hawaii is dominated by English, with a few exceptions where well known words such as aloha and mahalo are written on unofficial street signs. Generally, the linguistic landscape serves as an expression of identity, linguistic diversity, and language policies. Top down signage, for instance, the official street signs done by the government, express power relations. The status quo clearly shows that English is the language of authority and power in Hawaii. In her study, Townsend examined what possible effects the creation of a bilingual linguistic landscape would have on the Hawaiians. She concluded that Hawaiians generally have a positive attitude excuse me, toward a bilingual linguistic landscape. She argues that a bilingual linguistic landscape would promote Hawaiian, improve its status, and increase native Hawaiians' connection to their culture. In other words, it would promote native Hawaiians' self esteem. Native Hawaiians would take pride and feel valued if they saw their language being used on official street signs. The visibility significantly contributes to the vitality of lesser used languages. The following quote shows that the creation of a bilingual linguistic landscape might even have health impacts. I am quoting: language has a role in providing sustenance that enhances the health and well being of its speakers. Put simply, if speakers are not allowed to speak naturally, they might very well experience psychological damage. All in all, the creation of a bilingual linguistic landscape would increase the visibility of Hawaiian, add to its vitality, and might even lead to better health outcomes. The Hawaiian example demonstrates that an endangered language can be successfully revived by different means. The process of language revitalization really is more of a bottom up rather than a top down operation. The people wanting to revive Hawaiian play a crucial role. Therefore, they need to be actively involved in this endeavor. A successful language revitalization requires both governmental and attitudinal support. Furthermore, language revitalization programs should not be restricted to the educational sector only. In order to reach as many people as possible, it should also be part of the public sphere. One way of achieving this is through the visibility of the linguistic landscape. Its presence on the linguistic landscape adds to its vitality. Last but most certainly not least, the youth need to engage in the revival movement. The future of the language is placed in their hands, and they will only pass it on to their children if they affiliate with it. Mahalo, and thanks a lot for your attention.